All right, welcome back. In this episode, we're doing 2022's Shudder original Mad God. Wow, this is one really long Tool video. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what to expect from it.
No.
Jerry picked it. It was his pick, and so okay, sounds good. I was at work, got home, searched it, found it, had no idea what I was walking into outside of it was going to be stop animation because it's in the description of the movie.
Yeah.
That's all I knew.
Yeah.
Stop go animation, which I was not excited about because I've, most of them aren't any good. But we'll find out where this one lies on that meter. So let's hop into it.
Yeah. Let's definitely jump in. Unfortunately, I think we have a problem. Jacob, our show, we review movies.
This is accurate. Sometimes we do that.
And this was not a movie.
No, this was an art piece.
This was an art piece. It was a gorgeous art piece. It was like I will definitely like praise the art of the guy, and I will praise the thought process.
Yeah.
But movie?
Yeah, this was not a movie.
Yeah. It didn't have that
I mean, it was a story. It had a beginning, middle, and end.
yeah. I mean,
It
I
wasn't very
understood.
clear
No.
what was happening, but
It's like a Dante's Inferno.
yeah. Yeah,
Um
it was interesting.
yeah. Um it felt like, and I don't know if this is the deal. I didn't read anything about this, but it felt like a bunch of short clips
Mhm.
that were mushed together to make a long feature.
Mhm.
I definitely like I said, I commend everything that this person did,
Mhm.
but I couldn't get into it as much as I wanted to because of that factor of that. Yeah, there's a story. Your brain makes the story, but there's like it was a missing an element, and it wasn't the dialogue. Yeah, there's no
Right.
dialogue in it at all. But I just don't know. I couldn't sink my teeth into it as much as I wanted to. What did you what did you say that's accurate, or where are you going with it?
Yeah, so um so I thought that it was an interesting art piece.
Yes.
It was extremely creative,
Hmm.
meticulously shot and done. Yeah, I mean, I can't speak highly enough of this. Like Tim Burton's really gonna have to step his game up.
Mm.
This was like an hour and a half long Tool slash Nine Inch Nails video. Like
Yeah.
it was just weird, creepy aesthetics.
Hmm.
There was some story there, but you don't know exactly what it is. Um, but you're right. I couldn't sink my teeth into it. And I don't know if it was lack of dialogue, lack of obvious direction, or by the end of it, towards like the last, I would say 15-20 minutes of it, I started feeling really grimy
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
and
this movie
like
will definitely.
and like dirty. And it was just like it was almost like sickening. And I don't know if that was the intention or if that was just what those aesthetics made me feel,
I
but
think that's, yeah.
it was very strange.
L-
It was so weird.
Like I can watch a horror movie and it could be like a bloodbath, and my brain
Mhm.
kind of does that closure thing where my brain goes, well, it's not really
Yeah.
blood and it's not, but this actually felt like, especially when they were like the thing was shitting and
Yeah.
stuff, or
Yeah.
like the vagina tit dogs
Mhm.
and stuff, like and that there was shit coming out of, or there was vomit coming out of one, and it was just really like repulsive almost, and like
Yeah.
a way everything kind of like looked. And then there's like right in the middle of the movie, you get this, they take the stop go animation and they make it look old filmy of a doctor
Mhm.
kind of like, I don't know, performing a C-section of
Yeah,
of
I
something.
don't know what that was about, but that I guess that was supposed to be the assassin that they captured.
Yeah,
They,
that's
like, stripped him down to that and then tore him apart to get something out of him.
something, yeah.
Um, but did you okay, so there was 2 things. Obviously, the one that you saw that made me go, "Huh?" was the doll, the Barbie finger fucking herself.
Yeah, where he
That
opens
was
the door.
very yeah, that was
Yeah.
very weird, and it made me feel weird, and I didn't appreciate it. But then there was a scene where it's panning across a bunch of those hair dolls,
The
and
dust bunnies,
they're
yeah,
all yeah, yeah, they're all watching that screen or whatever, but it's, like, panning across them to look up at the screen, and there's 2 dolls in the background fucking. And it's very, very quick, and I almost paused it to take a picture of it so that if you were like, "No, I didn't catch it," I'd be like, "Right here."
Yeah.
But it's almost like it's hidden in the background because
Mhm.
the dolls are like a white and everything else is dark, so you see their heads and faces, but if you're not watching quickly, you or, like, intently enough, you don't notice it. It just
Oh,
looks like something in the background
yeah,
because
there's
the
tons of
background was
that.
full of stuff. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
once he okay, so the character drops from an airship, it looks like, into like this heavily armed fortress, and it's firing. But then we go into like the caverns below.
Yeah.
And if you look closely, there's a place with all these statues.
Mhm.
Right when he gets into like, I guess, the beginning of hell.
Mhm.
And if you look, there's the robot from RoboCop, not the first movie, but the second movie that, shoots and I don't know how
Mhm.
to describe it, but yeah, there's that character. Um, and there's just like a bunch of like things in the background. Blink and you'll fucking miss it should be the title
Yeah.
of this movie. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, he has a creative style of
Mhm.
like, because then he starts taking like when he first enters, there's the house and it's still stop go animation, but then he throws in like video
Yeah.
effects on the windows, and
Mhm.
like, there's like two people kind of having sex, and then the other window there's a person being dissected and shit, and then it's just so much like genius art, but
Yeah.
does it make movie?
That's what it no, no, it does not make movie. But I think since we both watched it, we deserve to praise it on its its art
It's art,
because
yeah.
it I mean, I like I said when you said this movie, I was like, okay, I didn't know anything about it. I just saw the title
Same.
Mad God. And I got home and I read the description and it said it was stop go animation. And I was just like, fuck, I don't know if I want to watch this. So I'm just staring and reading and like reading these 5 sentence description over and over again. And for some reason, again, before I'd seen the movie, I kept focusing on the word painstakingly. And I was like, I know this shit's hard, but
Mm,
was it painstakingly? And then as soon as it started, I was like, "Oh." And
yeah.
as it went further in, I was like, "Oh." And then by the end of it, I was like, holy shit. The
Yeah.
amount of work they could tell me that that movie took 20 years to shoot, and I would believe them. Like the
Yeah.
details of everything was so not not necessarily like detailed, but there was no empty space on that screen
No.
at any given time. Like there's no negative space in that movie.
No.
And if there is, it's extremely intentional and it's drawing your focus. Like when you're seeing the oversight of him
Mhm.
driving that little Nazi Jeep down that square
Down the
thing.
road, yeah.
Like, right. Yeah. Like, I mean, some of the things I was like, how did they accomplish that? How did they, like, when he's driving again that Jeep, he's driving across the sand. And I was wondering in my head, like, I wonder if that thing's leaving tracks. And not only is it leaving tracks, as the wheels are spinning, it's kicking up
Does.
sand. And I'm
Yeah.
like, how did they do that?
The only thing I
Like,
can think
how
of
is
is a
that
remote. Is a remote control car.
right? But even then, it was so little that like it would have been so light that it wouldn't have dug up
Uh,
like into the treads and
yeah.
shot it off like it was. I don't know. The movie,
Either
it
that or they're
makes me
shooting it
feel,
actually from very far away. So like think about like,
but
this
it's
guy's
right
got.
up on top of the wheel.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it, like you, like when you see it driving, it's coming across screen like this, but then there's another angle of it as it pulls up to the opening,
Mm,
and it's like this, and you're looking at that back front driver's tire, and that's when I saw the sand coming up, and I was like,
yeah.
huh, like it was just it was a baffling movie to watch.
Yeah.
Like I think that if I can bring myself to watch it two more times, I will really, really find even more appreciation for this movie
Yes. I can.
because it's just, I mean, it's the best piece of stop go animation I've ever seen.
Yeah. I'll
Like
give it that.
aesthetically, I mean, it's, yeah, I was just blown away by it. But at the same time, it still made me feel dirty and like I needed a shower. So
I don't want to spoil because there's not very much to spoil in this
there's
movie.
nothing you can't spoil this movie. We could tell it shot for shot, but when somebody sees it, they're gonna be like, "Oh, holy shit!"
Yeah. We'll
Like
sound fucking crazy doing scene.
we will never do this movie justice talking about it.
No, no.
This you just have to see. Pay a Shudder. You just have to see this movie because it.
It's
I mean,
interesting.
it's like trying to describe your dream to somebody.
Yeah,
Like
that's a
the
good point.
more detail you go into, the less they're going to understand.
Yeah.
Like, it's just yeah.
Yeah. And there was a car there. And Jimmy, you remember you were
Yeah.
there in the car, but we were
Right.
also in a house for some
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah, that's the perfect way of describing this movie. It's like trying to describe a dream that you kind of remember, and like a couple hours after you've already woken up.
I will also say I didn't sleep for I was dead tired when I started the movie, and I didn't sleep for like another 5 hours because I was trying to just process what the hell I watched. Like I was just like, but is it the Big Bang? Is that what's happening? Is this new life? Like they're trying Earth again? It what does the aliens have to do with it?
Yeah.
What does where is it evolution? Like this is the evolution of people or like I was like, what is happening? What like I'm going to find that guy that wrote this story and I'm gonna grab him by his collars and be like, what are you doing? Like, what is this? Like,
Yeah.
because I like it's so elusive. Maybe somebody else can watch it and see exactly what it is and tell us, but I don't like, huh?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I
That's perfect.
what what
Yeah.
you
I,
know?
I think you
So
summed it up with it's trying to describe a dream. Um, all right. You want to roll into the Holy Trinity here?
yeah, I would not pay to see this in actually, you know what? I would pay to see this in theater just to see it on a huge screen and like perfect imaging, like,
Mhm.
high quality. Yeah, I'd pay to see
I would not. I
it.
watched it on the big screen TV upstairs,
Mhm,
and a lot of the flashes and
mhm,
a lot of the imagery was very hard for me to kind of focus on.
mhm,
I would actually like to watch this on maybe a smaller screen, not a tiny ass screen where I can't pick up detail, but just a normal size screen.
mhm.
So yeah, I wouldn't, I paying to see this movie, yeah, but I wouldn't want to watch it on a big screen.
I watched it on my like 32-inch TV or something. Like
Yeah.
I just that's what actually, you know what? I started on that. I stopped 30 minutes into it. I watched Terrifier and then I put it on the projector and finished it. So, that's actually how I watched it. But I I gotta tell you, on the projector, it didn't look any worse than,
Okay.
except for the vividness that you lose
Yeah.
in what a projector, and especially like $150 projector, not $1,000 projector.
Yeah.
I got it, like there wasn't flaws. I couldn't be like, oh, that's a fucking bottle cap that they painted to do. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't see any of that. So,
Yeah, but even if they did
um,
that, it would look unique because they would put their art and time into it. So,
right, yeah,
but yeah, I
okay.
I, I want to try it on a small screen next time. So
Was it thrilling to watch or was it killing?
it's thrilling. Like I said, it's a journey.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. It feels like one by the end of the movie.
yeah.
Um,
The end of the movie
I
gets, but
I mean, again, still visually stunning,
yeah,
but by the end of it, I was like, all right, come on, let's wrap
mm,
this up.
yeah,
Just like most people do with our videos.
yeah.
Um, but so I don't know. We've never come across a situation where we don't have an answer for thrill or kill.
Yeah,
Um, So I gotta say it's both, because it was thrilling to watch, but after a while I was like, okay, man, like let's go.
yeah.
So it was both for me. It started thrilling, ended killing. So that's where I'm at. But how many how many stars would you give movie art installation piece thing?
All right, I'm gonna do this weird. Okay.
You gonna give it Steven Seagal's?
Oh
We're
yeah, I'm
gonna go
gonna
back.
yeah, we're
We're gonna
going
go
back
back
to
to Steven
Seagal's. Yeah,
Seagal's.
fucking completely confused me and stuff. Wait a minute, 5 is bad, but 1 is good.
Yeah. Yeah, the
um,
more Steven Seagals you have, the shittier. That's how the rating scale works.
no, no. Okay, on art alone, it's a
Mhm,
5-star movie. On
mhm,
art alone,
mhm,
for creativity, it's a 5-star movie.
mhm,
On concept, it's a 5-star movie. On movie, it's a 2.5.
mhm,
Okay. So I wanted to say that because if I was just to give it a straight up answer, it would
mhm,
be a 2.5.
mhm,
But on all of those where it's like, yes, I want to watch this again. Yes, I want to like find this guy on the internet and see if he has other works of art out there that
mhm,
aren't like Jurassic Park and Star Wars, you know.
mhm,
Um I enjoyed the movie, but like the
mhm,
movie is just not, it's just like you know, that those things that bind the movie together,
mhm,
dialogue, soundtrack, kind of like keeping my attention.
mhm.
That's not just, look at this, look at this. It kind of lost me. So yeah. 5, 5, 5, 2.5.
Okay. For me, I'm just going to completely agree with you. Like, I couldn't have said it better myself. I
Yeah,
was going to give it 5 stars, but as a movie, it does not work as a five-star movie, but
right.
for all those reasons that you said, so I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
It's 5 stars in many aspects, but it doesn't work as a movie, so
Yeah.
I will give it 3
Yeah,
because it does have a beginning, middle, and end. There is a journey, there is a story. So I'll give it
yes.
3
And
on
it
that aspect.
like I understand why not use language. But you know,
I did
this
like the fact that, like, when they did use, like, something talking, it was a baby, like,
baby
just
crying.
babbling.
Yeah.
It was like a
Yeah.
baby babble, yeah. That
Uh
was hilarious. I was like, "Ha, alright."
that's cool. But see, in other markets, like in France, and Germany,
Mhm,
and the Netherlands, and China, and Japan, and all of these places, this movie plays out the exact same
mhm,
because they only use sound.
mhm,
So sound is easy for us to pick up instead of
mhm,
dialogue, where you would have to
mhm.
dub it and
Right.
and it may not match up exactly. But I do appreciate that. But it just you know, the gelatin ain't gelling, so
Yeah.
but yeah, I would recommend it. I would
Yeah,
tell people, yeah, this is a
absolutely.
great movie.
Mhm.
And then I would look at him and go, but it's not really movie.